Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of the Chef You and I, and my guest chef is Marty Schultes. And I'm very excited because we're doing this during the holidays, right, Marty?
Yes, absolutely.
So we're doing a ragu, basically, or spaghetti dish that doesn't have garlic.
Oh.
I couldn't believe I found this. So I want to give the ingredients, or would you like to give the
I
ingredients?
can do that.
Do
That's
that.
fine.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So what we're going to have is 1 small onion peeled and put it in half, 1 small carrot peeled, 1 stick of celery, extra virgin olive oil, kosher salt, ground pepper, of course, 1 pound of ground beef, 80-20, a half a cup of tomato paste, 3/4 a cup of white wine, 2 cups of chicken stock, a cup of milk, and a pound of a long pasta. So those are all the ingredients that we're going to be using today as we mix this up.
Right. So what we're doing first is instead of doing this in a grater, Marty, I grated the carrots first and I chopped the celery. Okay. And then we're going to use the 360 cookware, which is right behind us in the skillet. And we're going to do that. We're going to brown the onions, right? And I'm cutting those up. And then we're going to let that get really translucent. And then what we'll do is we'll bring and put the ground beef. I think that's what the directions say that you have to do.
Right, we're going to get these soft. So it's
That's
going to smell
sauteed,
like
right.
Thanksgiving morning when you put the celery and onions
Yeah,
together.
that's right. This reminds me, this is the first year I didn't have to do Thanksgiving. But my sister-in-law did, so all I had to do was the mashed potatoes for 10 people.
Ugh.
And I made some cranberry bites on our last show, right? And I got to tell you, they turned out delicious. Now, what else are we doing? We're doing another one. You want to tell us what we're doing on here while I just chop these onions up?
So the next one we're going to do is a grilled pork. And I believe you've marinated this already. The pork, she's got some nice pork rounds with lime juice. It looks like
And I
it
added,
calls for garlic minced, but we're not using that because Kathryn doesn't like garlic.
Kathy can't eat garlic.
Doesn't like her. Some olive oil, some ground cumin, some oregano, and some pepper. And again, she's got that all together, and she's already got the spices and everything on the pork, kind of marinating it, getting soaked into the pork. And then they're going to grill that up once we get that grilled up, and then you use a chutney over top of it. So Kathryn's got this Mariana's pear ginger chutney. So
We're going to try that with
looks
it.
really good. I love chutney on any kind of grilled like chicken or pork. I love chutney on top
Right.
of it. It just brings that sweetness out.
And we added wine to that recipe. We actually added a cup of white wine.
Oh, okay.
Right, because I thought it would give it a really nice flavor. So the next thing we're going to do right here, Marty, is we're going to add 2 tablespoons, and Bill's going to come over here, and I'm just going to put this on here. Unless, Bill, unless our producer wants me to put it over here, because usually what he does is he does it like this. He stands there, you stand over here with me, and we'll do it, okay?
All right,
so
go ahead and get that in there.
Yeah, so actually Marty's going to get to do all the appetizers, which I'm really...
Yep.
And it doesn't take long to do this. And actually with the 360 pans, you don't have to put it on high. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get those onions in a minute. And we have one of our wonderful things right here we don't have to do anything except this. Father came over to see us, and he's going to be doing his a television show probably in January. And then we met a visiting missionary who loves to cook.
Oh, wow.
Who's from here. And so what we're going to do is we're adding the carrots.
All right, Bill, you going to come over and get this, or are you okay where you're at right now?
Right.
He's going okay where he's at right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in.
Yes. And then we're going to let that kind of saute.
Right. Yeah, you can always tell when celery gets pretty ready to be done. It gets more translucent looking. It doesn't have that stiffness. Same thing like with onions, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Those are such go-tos in cooking, I feel like, just onions and celery. I just think they're such go-tos to add so much flavor to things.
I think so too. Okay, so now what we're doing, the skillet's really getting really hot now, and we're sauteing this. And you do it until it gets translucent or around 5 minutes. So we're going to set the timer for 5 minutes. There we go. And within 5 minutes, it'll be good enough for us to take it out. Mm-hmm. And then I'm not going to wipe the skillet out because there's still a little bit of oil in there. Yeah. And so if you'll open this for me, Marty,
sure,
I'd appreciate it. And we're gonna cook that. But I decided instead of using a slow cooker today, we're going to do everything in the skillet. Put the top on. This is the nice thing about the 360 cookware. It seals everything in and it locks, which makes it nice. What are you making for us for the rest of the meal, Marty?
So I've got a spinach dip that I'm going to be making, and then I've got...
Why don't you come over here, okay?
I've got a spinach dip, and then I've got a tomato appetizer with goat cheese in it, and then the other one I've got is a just real quick, easy cucumber with a dip on top of it with a tomato on top of it. Things that people can just pop in their mouth. Not anything super heavy, because, when you're having a nice big meal, you don't want anything super heavy. But people are hungry when they get to your house, and they want to eat something.
That's right.
So it makes it just a really nice, spread ahead of time that it's not going to fill anybody up. And it'll just taste really good.
And, the other thing is we're making a spicy Italian salad, which I'm really excited about. And for dessert, what I would do for dessert is do a spumoni, or I would do, let me get back here a minute.
Yep.
I would do a spumoni or a nice ice cream or something simple. Mm-hmm. What would you do? Because you don't want anything heavier than the stuff that we're making.
No, I even think just even some fruit and some dip would be good,
yeah,
too,
that would
sometimes.
Be good.
Especially when you have a heavier meal and you've already got appetizers, there's really not a need to... do a whole lot extra. It's like Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody loves the desserts, but after Thanksgiving, they're like, oh, I can't eat anything.
Another thing.
Yeah.
Well, what my sweet husband did is he went out and got this huge pumpkin pie.
Oh.
It's about this big.
Oh, wow.
We're still eating on it. But it's delicious.
Yeah.
So anyhow, but we're going to be able to taste this. You're going to be able to take some stuff home today. And which I'm really excited about. And so the next thing, you want to tell me what we do next? I take this out and put it in something.
Okay.
And put it aside, correct?
Okay. So once that's all translucent, which it's getting there really quick. This pan is just beautiful. Then we're going to go ahead, and it asks for some more olive oil with this, but I don't know with these pans. I don't think we're going to need it.
Right.
Ground beef itself has some,
right,
fat in it anyway. We're going to go ahead and add the meat, break it up, just fry it up a little bit. And
we're not putting it in a slow cooker. We're going to leave it in the skillet.
Yeah, and then we're just going to add the tomato paste to it. Keep it on low.
And the stock?
The stock and the wine onto it then. And then once that's all set, then we'll add that pasta in and cook it really slow.
Okay, we'll get this finished in a second.
It's fun, the different kind of pastas they have out right now, too. I'm always looking for the different brands instead of the same old pastas that I grew up with. There's so many just fun shapes anymore, and just really good pasta. So that's nice, too.
So we're going to wipe this out for a minute. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back on The Chef You and I with Marty Schultes and myself, Kathryn Raaker. We'll be right back. We are back on the Chef You and I with myself and Marty Schultes, and I'm putting the ground beef in. And here's a nice thing about it. Here, we'll put it in there. All right. We might want to add just a little bit of oil to that, Marty. I'm not sure about it. But I got to turn it down really low. Because this, and I'm going to turn the fan on. Or we are going to have...
There we go. Yep.
And I think I need to add a little bit of oil. Okay. Yes,
Here we go. Yep. There we go. All right. Just get that ground beef cooked up really good.
yeah. And then when we do that, we're going to add all this other to it, right?
Right.
Right. We're back on the Chef You and I with myself and Marty Schultes, and the ground beef is already browned. We're going to add the tomato paste, and we're going to add the wine and the chicken stock, and then the milk.
Right.
So
with that tomato paste, we want to get it mixed up really good and incorporate it in that ground beef.
all right. So what we want to do is actually take this
Yeah.
and mix it in with the ground beef
Right. Yeah.
until it gets covered, right?
Right. Yeah. Till
And then,
just so all the ground beef has the tomato paste in it. Then we're going to go ahead and
add,
we're going to get that wine. Go ahead and add it. And I've got a. It looks like 3/4 of a cup. I'm sorry, 2/3 of a cup of white wine.
right, So we're going to add
put
that to it.
in.
And then we'll add the chicken stock in, I
Yeah.
think. Is that next?
Yeah. Yeah. We might want to pull that up just a little bit to get that,
Wait just a minute. I'm going to use
So we can
this
reduce.
right here to move it around.
so we can reduce it down a little bit.
Yeah.
There we go. That's all nice and incorporated.
Right. It's getting incorporated.
All right.
Really nice. And now we're going to add,
Now we got the 2 cups of chicken stock.
go ahead.
And I think you could also use like vegetable stock in this too. If you
matter.
prefer to do vegetable stock, I think you could also do that.
So we're going to add that. And then after that reduces a little bit,
Right, we're going to reduce that a little bit.
and then it,
Then we'll put the milk in.
then we'll put the milk in and we'll cover it. Correct?
Yes. Cover it
Okay.
and let it go for a little bit. Get all those juices and everything reduced
Around
down.
5 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's what it says. When do you add the vegetables back in?
That's going to go in after the milk and after it reduces back down.
And then we're just going to let it cook on the top of the stove slow, just like you would in a slow cooker. And here we're going to get rid of this. Can you put that in the garbage
Yep,
things?
got it.
All right, and that goes in there. And so then we will, when that's done in about maybe 45 minutes, we'll come back to it. And they say use a slow cooker. We're doing a different method, which makes it easier for us. Can I have some of that parsley? Because I'm going to add that parsley to it.
There you
And
go.
thank you. And add that parsley to it. And this is really going to be, this is more like a ragu than a spaghetti, situation, because the actual, if you'll give me those noodles. Okay, so we have these egg pasta pappardelle. And we're going to use those. They're really wide noodles that we're going to serve it on. So we're going to let that go for a few minutes, right? And then we'll be right back in a little while. In just a moment, we'll be back, and we'll have all that ready to add the milk to it. We'll be right back. We are back on the Chef You and I, and actually, we just put everything into the pan. It's cooking slowly. You want to turn it down to practically nothing so it'll cook. And pretty soon it'll be done, and then we'll be able to, we've got our water on for cooking our pasta. But in the meantime, Marty's going to show us how to do this wonderful bread.
It's a spinach dip.
Yes.
It's a spinach dip. So we're going to start off. We've got a beautiful nice round loaf of Italian bread. We're going to core this out, break that up, so that's what people are going to use to dip into it.
Do you want me to do that?
That would be great, yeah. There's
Okay.
a serrated knife with it. Then I've got my other ingredients. I've got just a white onion, 2 cups of sour cream, spinach. This was frozen spinach. So the thing with frozen spinach is you have to unthaw it, which is running water over it, and then you have to squeeze out every bit of moisture in it because you don't want it wet. So mine is really pretty dry right now. I've got some oregano, I've got some basil, I've got a little bit of thyme, and then I've got a mix of like a Lipton onion soup mix. You can also use a ranch with this if you prefer ranch base on a dip, but we thought, well, this would be a little bit different, so we're going to use a Lipton onion soup mix. So we're just going to take, and I'm going to take about half this onion here and chop it up so that we can get that into the mix and start mixing things up. Normally what I'd say too is when I do a dip like this, I kind of like to make it overnight and kind of let it sit and marinate in my refrigerator. If you don't have time for that, it'll be just as fine. Well, there it goes, the onion. But I do like to let them sit for a little bit. And also, if you have too much dip, just put it in a bowl instead of in the bread bowl and save it for later. It's great with potato chips also.
And I love potato chips.
I do too.
That's my problem, Marty.
Yeah, I'm a go-to potato chip girl. Not so much on the bread, but I do like chips with it. I just want to get these a little diced up a little bit better. I am not the best with onions.
So you have everybody coming for Christmas. You had everybody for Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving's past now.
Yeah.
And so Christmas is, and you know, all the holidays and
Yeah, Christmas
New Year's
is a little
Eve.
bit easier for me.
Yeah.
Christmas is just a little bit easier because I don't make a huge big meal on Christmas time. Usually we do a bunch of appetizers and things like that. I'm just going to use my hands here and just shove this in.
I think this is pretty well cleaned out for you.
Yeah.
So, and you do want me to cube these, right?
Right. Once
Okay.
you cube that, I'm sure she can. So I'm going to put the onions in. I'm going to go ahead and get my sour cream in there. This is 2 cups of sour cream. This time of year, I feel like sour cream and cream cheese and onions and things like that, those are my base. I always have to get those at the store no matter what. I always need to have some of that on hold just when I'm making things. So I'm going to go ahead and get that in there. I'm going to go ahead and put my powder stuff in before I put my spinach in, just so I can get that nice and mixed up. This needs to be broken up a little bit, just a little bit. This was fresh basil, so a little damp there. Just going to do a little bit of this. I'm going to chop this up just a little bit. Just a little bit of this, not a whole lot.
Looks delicious, actually.
This is also presents really well if you want to take this somewhere to a party. This, I think, presents really well. You can just put it on a nice charger plate with the bread around it. There we go. Just mix that all in. And I'm going to go ahead and just give this a stir. And then again, I'm just going to make sure my spinach is nice and dried, and I'm going to break it up as best I can to get it into the dip, so nobody's getting clumps of it in there. Now, I have never tried to make this with fresh spinach, so I don't know how that would turn out.
With the spinach?
Yeah, I've never done it with fresh spinach.
It's really good.
And
that was frozen spinach, by the way.
Yeah. I like fresh spinach in soups. I love fresh spinach in soups. So we're going to get this all nice and in here. This will be a nice Christmassy green when I'm done.
Do you know what's really funny, Marty, is that I was making a lot of pumpkin pie desserts, and I could not find pumpkin pie spice.
Oh.
So what did I do? I went online, found a spice recipe, and I'm making my own spices now.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm finding that a lot of times we can't find them because of the transportation situation going on in the States right now.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
And it's frustrating because if you've got, you know, especially during Thanksgiving, what we had to do, I had to go and so then I decided, well, I can do this easy. And it was really simple. And then I use those jars that you do for
Like
canning.
canning?
Yeah. And they turned out really nice.
All right, all mixed in. Notice I didn't put any salt in this because the onion soup mix has plenty of salt in it. If I were putting the ranch in it, I might do a little dab of salt in it just to bring some of the flavors out. But since I know that the Lipton has enough salt in it, I didn't add any into it. So we're going to go ahead and put
Doesn't
this
that look good?
in our cool little bowl here. Like I said, this presents really nicely if you're going to a party or you just love your family so much you just want it to look so beautiful for them.
Right, right.
I don't think this would make it to the bread bowl with my children around. I think that all my kids and everybody would just start dipping right into the bowl.
Right.
There we go. All right.
All right.
Beautiful. And
Do you want to add a little bit more sour cream into that or not?
Nope, I think we're good.
You think we're good?
I think this looks good.
Okay, we're going to take a little short break and we'll be right back on the Chef You and I with Marty Schultes and myself, Kathryn Raaker. We're back on the Chef You and I, and Marty is making the second appetizer, which is?
It's cucumber bites. So very simple recipe to make cucumber bites. Again, something light and easy for people to pick up. I went ahead and started with my cream cheese, and I got this a little melted in the microwave. It has to be able to be smushed up and not in chunks. So I'm going to put this in my bowl here. I must have got a piece of dill in there. Put this in my bowl here. And then to this, we're going to add some sour cream. This was 1 brick of cream cheese. Oh, I need to get me a spoon out here. And then I'm going to use about a cup of sour cream, not maybe a full cup, but just about a cup, and get that incorporated in here. The cream cheese, whenever I use cream cheese in anything, it kind of gives it a thickness to it, which will be nice because we're going to pipe it on top of these cucumbers then.
Can I have that wonderful thing that you peel things with?
Peeler?
Yeah, I think I want to peel it a little bit.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add my sour cream in. And again, we're going to use about a cup of it. There we go. And I'm going to eyeball this. I think after you cook for so long, you get a good feel for what a cup is, and what you think it'll be. And honestly, it's not going to make a difference if it's a little under or a little over. It'll all taste good. Again, I want to go ahead and get this mixed up in there because it's a thicker mixture. All right, kind of the base for everything, right? Mm-hmm. Now let's go ahead and add a packet of ranch dressing. This is great on small little potatoes too. My family loves that. Just take some small potatoes and half them and then add them with ranch and a little bit of oil and bake them. Oh, they love those. All right, nice and mixed up. So now let's give it a little kick here. This is chives, so we're going to go ahead and get some chives in there. And this, I will say, you want to just cut tiny, 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 tiny. And there is a real difference between using green onions and chives. Chives just have a deeper flavor, I feel like, than green onions do. Or regular onions do, for that matter. It's nice to be able to get really fresh ones, though.
Mm-hmm. And you can grow them, in your home during the wintertime. I have to tell you the story about our rose bush. Somebody gave me a miniature rose bush for a gift, right? And so all winter long, last year, I put it in the window, and it was doing really well. So this summer, I decided to take it outside. And you're not going to believe when I show the pictures on our Facebook what it looks like today.
Oh.
It's this huge rose bush.
Oh, wow.
I can't even believe it. So, anyhow.
Rose bushes are funny like that. I had a rose bush in an old house I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that I had taken it down to the bottom because it wasn't where I wanted it. And I didn't really like it. This rose bush came back every year. I couldn't kill this thing. It's like, you must have had great roots in you.
Well, you know what? It likes the side of my house for some reason. And I've been using coffee grounds with it because I always used to do that with my rose bushes. And I just thought it comes out much nicer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. My mom used to take the dishwasher. Dish, you know, after you got done washing the dishes, she would take that water out and throw it over her roses. She said,
really?
It got all the bugs in that off of it.
That's a good idea.
It cleaned the leaves. I thought that was really interesting. All right. That looks great. Very easy. Very, very easy to do. So we're going to
pipe these.
Yeah. I'm going to try the piper thing here. I'm not the best at piping, but we're going to...
Well, all we can do is try, right, Marty?
Go ahead and put this in there.
Okay.
The tomatoes we're going to use for the garnish on the top, so we're going to do that. Now, you assured me that this was easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Right, I know.
Use.
Yeah, sure. Right.
I'm like, okay, all right. You heard it here. It's supposed to be an easy one.
Yes.
All right, Kathryn.
Okay, that's enough. You don't want to put any more in there.
All right.
No, you got to put the top on. Right?
All right.
Okay. Now, you got to do it. Wait a minute. Let's
I'm going to let Kathryn do the piping here.
Oh, thanks a lot.
And then I'm going to get the tomatoes ready for just a little bit of garnish.
Right, let's try this. Let's try this one.
Have you ever noticed the prettier something is, the faster it goes at a buffet
I'm trying
table?
it here first.
Okay.
I can't do this. Oh, whoops. Look what happened.
Uh-oh, she got a little bit more than she bargained for there.
Yeah, there's like whatever. Hold on. Hold this a minute.
Okay.
This is like a Lucille Ball and Debbie Arnaz or Ethel thing.
Maybe not quite so much. Maybe just a dollop.
Just a dollop. Okay, see, you did it.
You're right. This is not as easy as you think.
Yeah, that's what I told you.
It's like icing a cake and making stars.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I have to use...
I think that one needed a little bit more, girl. This looks really sharp.
We'll do these rows and see how we go.
Yeah, we have a lot of this, Marty.
All right.
Let me try one.
Oh, there you go. You do that. I'm going to go ahead and cut some little tomatoes up. You could garnish these with peppers. You could garnish these with pieces of carrot. You could garnish these with just about anything you want. It just adds a little bit of color to it. So we're going to just...
Yeah, it's really cool, actually. This is fun to do. Absolutely fun. Right. Look at that one. You could actually, it's harder than you think to push it. That's the only thing that I found, is that it is, right?
I think if I serve these out, I would probably do carrots and purple onions and and just, I'd make it colorful. I think that would be really pretty to make it really colorful, or different colored peppers.
Wait.
Yep.
There you go.
All right.
And or smoked salmon, maybe. If you,
there you go.
But see, I know you don't like so.
I don't really eat fish, so.
No,
but yeah, absolutely.
Here's this one. Watch. I have to check out.
We've got our pasta going back here. I think it's going crazy.
And I think it's done. You have to hit the timer. It's done.
Yep, there we go. So that's it. Oh, missed one.
So we're gonna take the pasta out in a second.
All right. That's an easy peasy appetizer. It's light. It tastes good. You can top it with different things. It can be really colorful, really cute for Christmas time, whatever. Pop one in your mouth.
All right, we'll be right back after these important messages on The Chef You and I. We are back on The Chef You and I, and we're making the spicy Italian salad. And Marty and I are doing this together. So I have to cut up the lettuce, and you're going to do what?
Right, so I've got all these ingredients. I'm going to just kind of go through them as we get through here. The first thing was artichoke hearts, and it's asked for them to be chopped up. So I'm going to take some of these, not particularly all of them, and chop up artichoke hearts, which are a little bit tougher than I would think they would be.
you think, right?
Yeah.
Right, so this is going to be 5 cups of salad.
Right, yeah. And we're using romaine lettuce. Yeah. And I think you could use romaine or you could use iceberg. Those are my 2 favorite kinds of lettuce.
You know, the sad thing about iceberg is it has no value.
Yeah.
So there's so many new lettuces now, Marty, that are leaf lettuce, and there's red lettuce.
Yeah.
I love arugula. Do you like it?
No, I do not like arugula. I'm going to go ahead and cut up a red onion here.
Good.
Just get that in there. Again, not so overpowering, just a little bit. You're boiling back there.
This is done. Now you can take it off. See, that's the nice thing about these wonderful, beautiful pans.
That reduced really nicely.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. And it's, you know, it's gone down, so it looks wonderful. So anyhow,
All right.
you're all done with that almost?
Yep, we'll get this done.
That looks gorgeous.
So we thought with all these different ingredients, we'd go ahead and get these mixed up first, and then we'll add it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get the red onions in. And then the only other thing I had to chop up really was cucumbers. We're going to use some cucumbers and chop these up.
Great.
All right. And I can't
That
put
looks
you to
good.
work. I'm going to have you chop those up nice and fine. There's some
Okay.
red peppers. This too would be a beautiful salad to take somewhere because it
is gorgeous.
very colorful.
Yeah.
Very, very colorful.
And especially, you know, I make, and I do this every year, I make my Swiss cheese dip. Everybody loves it. You remember that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
All right. Going to go ahead and just get that all mixed in now. All right. Here's the other ingredients that we're going to go ahead and put in this salad. We've got grated carrots. That's about a cup of grated carrots. Got some nice green olives with pimento in them. Some black olives. Whoop. Making a mess of it. All right. I want to go ahead and get, this is Romano cheese. So we're going to go ahead and get that mixed in. Some dry mustard. Just a little bit of dry mustard. I think that's about a teaspoon of dry mustard. All right. Then we've got some, I'm not sure what.
Thyme.
Thyme. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thyme. We're going to put some thyme in.
Can I put that in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead and put that in.
All right.
Beautiful.
Wait,
All
I'm not
right.
done.
A few more?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
So then to make the salad dressing as such, we're going to put some sugar in because that's going to offset with the little bit of vinegar, just some plain vinegar that we got in there. And then this is just plain canola oil. This is a half a cup of canola oil. We're going to go ahead and get that all mixed in there real pretty. Smells very Italian-y.
Yeah, I know. I figured it
If you can
did.
have a smell for Italian-y, that's what it smells, very Italian-y. All right, so these are all nice and mixed in. Now my preference would probably be to put more cheese in it myself, but you know, to each their own. All right, go ahead and I'm going to put that over here, and then I'm going to mix this in. This is
Do you
a
want
nice-
those? Wait a minute. I've got something for you, Marty. Where are they? They're right here. Hold on.
All right. And this is not your everyday salad. This is nice to bring, again, to a party because it's not your everyday.
And it's called Spicy Italian Salad.
Yeah, and then, again, my preference would be probably to just sprinkle cheese on
You
the
could
outside
still
of
put
this.
some more cheese on top of that.
Yeah, I
to
would
serve it.
definitely put some more cheese on top of this.
Right. That looks really delicious.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
So simple to make. You want to put it over there, Mart?
Yep, here we go.
All right. So We are back on the Chef You and I, and this is the part I love, Marty. This is when we get to eat. Actually, we made a ragu, actually, Italian dish with meat and vegetables, right? And then tell us what you made.
Okay, so we did a nice spinach dip with a just a round loaf of bread. We did some easy cucumber pickup bites with ranch and cream cheese, and then just a little bit of topping of tomato. And then that's our spicy Italian salad. It's got everything in it: artichoke hearts, olives, peppers, carrots, onions, just about everything. And then we use, for the dressing, we used oil, vinegar, and some sugar.
And that makes
Smells wonderful.
It's a
Smells really
wonderful dish for in between the holidays, because you can only eat so much turkey, so much ham, so you can have something totally different.
Right.
And this could be even a brunch kind of thing, right?
Absolutely.
I want to thank you
welcome.
for being here today. We want to thank all of our sponsors, which are the 360 cookware pans, and also Corn Huskers Duck Fat Spray. We want to thank everyone for joining us today. And Marty, bon appetit.
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I Show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandi.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.